Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is David, or as my friends call me, Bobby. Uh, Long story behind that, but welcome to the first video of my YouTube channel, Fox 3 Fishing. So, a little bit of background on me. I'm military, move around a good bit, so I get to experience a little more stuff. Started bass fishing right about 4 years ago back in Virginia, 4 or 5 years ago. Um, Biggest thing with bass fishing is everyone thinks, oh, you have to have all the fancy stuff like the professional guys do. The answer is no. So, what I'm going to do is throughout this channel, I plan on going over some of the tackle that I use, what the prices on a lot of them run, and how you can get into bass fishing without having to pay an arm and a leg in order to get into it. So, mind you, this is a collection over the years, and some of it was given to me. Some of them I've got off of 99-cent auction sites, off of Facebook. Also, I'm going to start doing videos of me bass fishing as it gets warmer. Yesterday, the weather was bipolar, to say the least. It went from 50 degrees on my duty day on Saturday to 29 with snow that didn't stick. And today, as you can probably see, if I can ever get this thing turned around, I can't, but it's pretty bluebird sky, so I'm probably going to go out for trout later on if it's not completely cold and windy. So, with that being said, some of the gear that I have, unfortunately, I don't have the GoPro my wife bought me for Christmas, so I'm having to do this on my phone. So, work with me for a little bit. I've got a fair mix of stuff here, a couple custom-made spinners. I had these made from PC Tackle back in Virginia. Chatter jig, or bladed jig, whatever you'd like to call it. A couple of chatter baits. These are probably one of my most go-to, in particular this one. Back in Virginia, I caught so many largemouth and northern snakehead on, which if you've never caught northern snakehead, if you know how to bass fish, you can catch a northern snakehead. Between that one, this is another one that I had made. I gotta clean them up. Moves have kind of messed that up. I've learned in when I started, one of the most versatile baits that I've ever found is this, the Senko. And actually, this pack runs right about $2 or so at Dick's. So if you want to go check them out, between Big Bite and Yum are the two. Gary Yamamoto's got his stuff out there, and it's great. I've caught a number of fish on it. But if you don't have the $7 or $8 a pack, or you can't find them for a little cheaper, then it might just be out of your price range. These River to Sea Yabby Crawls, I've actually caught a fair amount of snakeheads off of them. Actually, my first snakehead was caught off of one of these over at Fort Belvoir, Virginia. My buddy Dave Kennedy, definitely go check him out. He's stepping up to the big leagues and has done a great job. He's the one that actually taught me a lot of what I need to know about bass fishing. He actually has taught me almost everything that I've known. A lot of them has been from YouTube channels and just talking to a lot of guys. I'm involved with the Virginia Bass League and the National Bass Leagues. Go check them out on Facebook if you're looking for a free tournament to go do. No, they haven't paid me to give them any advertisement or anything. I've just learned that much from them. Bass Pro, another, if you got a Bass Pro that's near you, their plastic baits are like second to none. So if you're looking for a bulk pack of stuff, I highly recommend them. A couple other things I got in the arsenal, besides the proverbial slip sinkers that you can get at Walmart for $1, $1.50 a pack. The lighter the better that you can do. I've got buzzbait, probably one of my most favorite baits in the world. I still really got to clean these off, is the buzz bait. I have caught literally so many fish off of this thing, it's not even funny. Word of the wise though, if you have at least a little bit of experience, put a trailer hook on, because I learned the hard way during one of my last tournaments that I fished on Lake Anna. Was I missed probably a good 5-6 pound largie just because I didn't have that. He short struck it, missed him, and yeah, I went from a fish that could have potentially put me in the top 10 to finishing in the top 20, which wasn't bad, but still. A lot of these you can go to Walmart. Walmart had these for like $1 a piece. Their version of a Strike King. You've also got the frogs, buzz baits. I really got to go through and like clean this up, but it's just been, like I said, so doggone cold. But that's pretty much it for my terminal tackle. Other than, obviously, I've got a nice variety of cranks here. Both lipless cranks. I've got a couple spooks, 1 or 2 jerk baits in there. Various sizes. A lot of those I was either given them, or I went on to one of the 99-cent, dollar, what have you, fishing sites that I found off of Facebook. Met some great people off of that. That's actually how I met Kennedy. And now he just happens to be the godfather. Him and his wife are godparents to my daughter. So, huge variety of different kinds of cranks based off of colors. Don't know why there's a chatter frog in here. Well, what used to be a chatter frog, but that's in there. But the next thing is, you know, you can have the tackle net, but the rods. So me, I'm not, you know, with moving so much, I'm always worried about my stuff getting broke. So a couple of different things that I've done is I've got a couple different rods, Walmart specials. So there's one of them right here. It's one of the Rhino Tufts. I got it at Walmart. It's a one piece. Great rod. Never had any issues with it. Another one of these that I've got, if I can never get it unsnagged here from the line, is a Bass Pro Bruiser. It was pre-strung with mono. It's a 2-piece. Or, I'm sorry, it's not a bruiser, it's a brawler. And I got this for one of the veterans fishing tournaments that they were giving out. So big shout out to Bass Pro for sponsoring those guys, between Real American Heroes and the Outdoor Recreation Heritage Fund. My first bait caster that I ever had is this one here. Quantum Reel, Abu Garcia rod. Yeah, I got a swim bait on there. Had a couple strikes on that last season. But if you're going to start off with bass fishing, what I highly recommend you do is go with the spin, what I call them the spin cast, which is this right here. It's the typical deal. It's easier for everyone to use. You have the other little spinning combo that's got the enclosed reel and that. I used that when I was a little kid. And then about 3 years ago, I started going over to the bait casters, and I'm still not an expert with it. It's one of those, it's hard to master, and if you don't have your brakes and everything set right, then you're going to get whiplash or I should say backlash. So it's kind of crazy. I still get it. It's a pain. A lot of what I'll use with these, depending on what I'm specifically going to use the rod for. If I'm using it for top water, I'm probably going to go with the mono, which is the cheapest line you'll see at like Walmart, Bass Pro, Cabela's, wherever you guys go. So I typically use Berkley, Trilene, or Stren, whatever I have the budget for. The other ones I've got, and I've currently got on my trout rod right now, is I've got some copolymer. I've got 2 rods at the back of my truck that I've been using for trout. One's a Matsu that I got at the Post Exchange at Fort Belvoir. The other one's a Lew's reel that I got off a combo that I bought at Dick's for like $30. The rod broke because it was in the back of my truck, but the reel was good, so I went and went over to Sportsman's Warehouse, got a telegraphic rod from Quantum. caught a trout on it the other day before the weather decided it wanted to do what it does best here on the Kitsap Peninsula in Washington. Those are both strung with mono. Actually, the Matsu is strung with copolymer, which is kind of a cross between fluorocarbon and monofilament. It's pretty much mono with a fluoro wrapping on it, or at least that's how I understood it. Typically what you use those for is the top water. Fluoro, that's more for like if you're using crankbaits and stuff like that. Fluoro is very hard to see in the water, so the fish can't like dime in on the fact that there's a line attached to whatever bait you're giving them for a presentation. Most of my rods, I'm going to restring them with fluoro, with the exception of my, obviously my my top water stuff. And then you have your braid line. Braid also floats. It's very, very strong. Typically you want to do that if you're in the muck. So lily pads and stuff like that, I'll use them if I'm fishing a frog. Actually, that other rod there's got braid on it, the Rhino. It's got braid on it, so that's typically, I think I got 45-pound braid on there. And what that does is it'll cut through a lot of that grass and that. So the goal of this channel, like I said, is to just showcase like what I do as a budget fisherman. I'm obviously not the richest man in the world. I'm a geo bachelor. My wife and kid live clear on the other side of the country while I'm out here on the ship. So my buddy's actually let me store my stuff at his place in his shed. So big shout out to him. Like I said, if you guys are interested and want to keep following me, by all means, hit the like button, subscribe. My videos are probably going to come up at irregular deals due to underway schedules and stuff like duty day, stuff like that. Again, big shout out to the National Bass League and Virginia Bass League, who I absolutely would bend over backwards to help in any way, shape, or form, because great group of individuals, great sponsors. Big shout out to Inferno Jigs. I've gone and fished with Jay Hall a couple times. Just great guy. He'll make anything that you want. Same thing with PC Lures. They do a great job of whatever you want. You tell them, and they'll figure out a way to make it happen. They'll give great suggestions. I've caught a lot of fish on all their stuff. So that being said, I'm out. Hopefully next time I can find the GoPro the wife bought me for Christmas. Either it's sitting somewhere in my truck or it's probably in the sea bag locker and berthing on the boat. So that being said, thanks for watching, and we'll catch everyone later. Have a great rest of your President's Day. I'm out.